My name is Priscilla Nyokabi. I am the executive director of an organization called Kituo Cha Sheria. In English, that translates to Center for Legal Empowerment. We are the oldest legal aid organization in Kenya, and that's largely where we work. When we had the post-election violence in Kenya 2007, 2008, a lot of the people in informal settlements and also in some other rural areas in the Rift Valley really suffered the brunt of the violence. In this, again, and reconstructing from the post-election violence, we've seen the real work of paralegals in pursuing the peace policy, which is still in adoption stages by the cabinet, and also assisting victims and making sure that the victims of post-election violence are properly recorded, are properly, within the governmental systems. And also, when the government was giving some compensation, a lot of paralegals came in handy in ensuring that those particular people got the compensation that was being offered by government. But I think going forward, we see the role of paralegals in terms of linking the issues of security, linking peace, and linking the rule of law, and making sure that the communities do understand these issues and these matters. Sometimes you cannot explain peace on a television. You have to go down to the villages and explain peace. And unfortunately, a lot of lawyers, a lot of the government personnel will not go down to the villages to explain these matters. So it is again left to the work of paralegals to go into the villages. Most of them just carry a small bag on their back and walk within the streets. They know the villages, they know how to talk to their people, they know the language that their people understand, and they understand the law. When we say paralegals talking about peace, I think a lot of it is actually cohesion, national cohesion. What we have in Kenya are ethnic tensions. We have the big tribes and, fairly deep ethnic tensions run in the country. And what happens is when the rule of law is not observed, then those tensions turn catastrophic, because then you have neighbors turning on neighbors. You have a neighbor burning a neighbor's house, especially during electoral tension. So what the paralegals do is really make people understand the rule of law questions. That when we have some of the national leaders taken to court, it is not because that particular tribe is being targeted, but because the national leader has offended the law and must be taken through a rule of law system. So what the paralegals do is communicate those messages and also push that the officials on the ground, the local governance, the provincial administration, the police within our areas do the work that they are supposed to do. And then that way law and order is really maintained even in the informal settlements. In our countries where democracy is strengthening and where rule of law is gaining roots and constitutionalism starting to be applied, I think having paralegals will also start to link with development. You find that a lot of the people who don't access justice are also the people who are excluded from rights. Local governance doesn't go very well. So we see paralegals starting to play an active role towards spurring these communities to development, fighting exclusion of basic services, water, health, education. In an ideal world, we are looking at a point in future where every village has paralegals. Again, now the distribution might not be too good. There are some places that have more paralegals than others. We are also looking at a place where basic justice care is offered to all citizens, so that even in offenses and in contract matters that happen in our villages, because saying you're poor does not mean you don't contract. You still sell something, you still buy something, you still buy mobile phones and those kind of issues. So making sure that really basic justice care is available to all citizens wherever they could be, and even non-citizens. For Kituo, who work with refugees, again, in our countries, when you have people from the border moving, they really suffer injustice in the countries where they move to. So that would be our dream: paralegals across the country, well recognized, and basic justice care available to all.